Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of Dear Nero, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in fan mail and or fan questions, and I do best to go ahead and answer them. This week's gameplay, we got some Advanced Warfare. I've been thinking recently, because you guys may remember a video I made, maybe a week or so ago, something along that time span. It was when Advanced Warfare's Havoc DLC, there was a poster that leaked and it kind of gave us the descriptions of the maps, and then we started talking about how there's going to be an avalanche on the map Drift, and I started talking about how I've always liked the idea of like a Levolution, like the map's actually changing around a little bit, and I started talking about CeeLo and World at War, and I went and recorded some footage for CeeLo for that video. Ever since then, I'm like, I kind of want to play some of the other Call of Duties. I really do. I don't know, just something about it, because I haven't played those games in so long, so I don't know. I think Dear Nero is like the perfect place to actually put up older Call of Duty footage on there, because a lot of my videos are relevant to Advanced Warfare, but on Dear Nero, it's not really about the gameplay at all, so perhaps in future episodes of Dear Nero, we'll start doing some stuff with some older Call of Duty games. That might be some fun. But right now, we've got a ton of great questions, so I definitely want to hop into this. I think the key to making this a good episode is to try and not go too long with these questions. Otherwise, this episode is going to go on for hours. Like, there's tons of good questions here, and I want to go ahead and get into them. First question, he's going to write, Dear Nero, with the success of Black Ops 2, do you think Treyarch will want to stay in the near future or go into a different era such as World War II or Vietnam? Keep up the great work, George from Australia. I thought this was an interesting question. We've talked a lot about the idea of Black Ops 3. We've talked a lot about what is Treyarch going to do with this next Call of Duty game. Keep in mind, Black Ops 2 is probably the most successful Call of Duty in a very, very long time. Super successful. I mean, the game is 2+ years old now, and there's still, at peak hours, especially towards the weekends and stuff, there's well over 100,000 people playing on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 playing that game, right? It's super freaking popular. Black Ops 2 has had this staying power that a lot of Call of Duty games they've never been able to replicate that. They haven't. Call of Duty Ghosts couldn't do it. Advanced Warfare so far, well, I guess we are assuming Advanced Warfare hasn't done it because we can actually see the player count, but it's a super popular game. I don't think anybody's trying to deny it. Black Ops 2 super popular, which is going to put a lot of pressure on Treyarch's shoulders to make this next game they're putting together just as good. All right, so what do I think they're going to do with this? What do I think? Do I think they're going to stay in the near future? Here's the thing. With how popular that game was, I don't honestly see them changing things around a whole lot. I really don't. I can picture a Black Ops 3. And if I had to make a guess as to what Treyarch is going to do, I'm going to guess it's going to be a Black Ops 3. Just because Black Ops 1, super popular, super well received. Black Ops 2, super popular, super well received, right? Both of those games were just super well received, and what's actually kind of funny was right after those games came out, Infinity Ward games came out, where Modern Warfare 3 and Ghost were kind of disappointments for a lot of people, so a lot more people went back and ended up playing. Like, each one of those Call of Duty games was at least a 2-year Call of Duty game. Like, Black Ops had a ton of people playing on it for about 2 years. Black Ops 2 has had tons of people playing on it for over 2 years now. Super popular games. And I picture if they want to continue that momentum, they should just go ahead and make it a Black Ops 3. Now, Black Ops 1 and 2, there are some key differences there, but it does have the same kind of feel. What really kind of makes the games great, in my opinion, the Treyarch games, is the subtle things that you don't even really notice, right? It's not the guns, it's not anything like that. It's the fact that the guns are balanced, I guess that's a part of it, but the fact that the maps always have great flow. The maps that Treyarch makes, in my opinion, are some of the best maps in Call of Duty. Treyarch makes some great maps. Of course, they're not all great. I think we can all talk about Aftermath here for a second, talk about how crappy that map was, but a lot of their maps are really good, and the spawns in their games are really good, and it always feels as though the Treyarch games try to reward the better player. That's what I want to see with their game. That's what I'm hoping they do. And I hope they just go into a Black Ops 3. If they want to go ahead and continue on with the same storyline, continuing off Black Ops 2 would be kind of hard. I'm not sure where they'd go with that, given what happens towards the ending of Black Ops 2 and all the different possible endings you could have gotten. But if they were to go ahead and go on with the Black Ops 3, I'd be okay with that. More of the same. I'd definitely be okay with that. But also, if they want to go back to like a Vietnam War, which is an idea I had, they could go back with a Black Ops 3, but they go back to like the Vietnam War, like in the original Black Ops era, and tell a different story from the perspective of different people. They could go ahead and do that as well, and try and implement some of the mechanics that they had from Black Ops 2 or something like that. Either way, they're going to do something, and I'm super excited for this Treyarch game. I am super stoked about this, and honestly, it's too hard. You can't really guess what they're going to do, but if I had to make a prediction, I think they're going to go with the Black Ops 3, continuing on from Black Ops 2. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, do you think playing Battlefield with your friends in a whole squad requires more teamwork than playing with your friends on Call of Duty? This person did not leave his or her name. I'd say overall Battlefield itself has more teamwork required, but I'm going to say I feel as though maybe Call of Duty actually has the edge in terms of these squads. So I played a ton of Battlefield 4. You guys know that. You guys saw I put a bunch of videos up on here on my channel. I made guides and stuff like that. I enjoyed Battlefield 4 quite a bit, and I played a bunch of it both with friends and just playing with random people that would join my squad, right? I played it a bunch, and I found that the squads, while they are nice, they're definitely nice, especially if you get like a recon player in there who's throwing down motion sensors, or you get a recon player that's like throwing down mobile spawn points, or perhaps if you're in a tank or something like that and one of your teammates is like an engineer and he kind of sticks with you and he heals up your tank and stuff like that. He hops out, heals it up, hops back in with you. All that kind of stuff can be great, and that requires a lot of teamwork, which is nice. But a lot of the time I found in Battlefield, the people in your squad really didn't affect you too much. Like you were working with everybody on your team as a whole, not just necessarily your own little tiny squad, right? When I would play Battlefield, especially stuff like Conquest, Rush, and things of that nature, I mean, people would spawn on me, but they would not necessarily always be with me. Even when I'm playing with friends, it's not like we were running as a group of 4 everywhere we went. We were working together. One of us is a medic, one of us is a support guy, one of us is a recon guy, that kind of thing. It was never really like that. We all kind of just like ran off and did our thing, but we were all still in the same squad. So honestly, though, I'd say Call of Duty might actually take a little bit more teamwork in terms of the squads. Once again, I feel as though Battlefield as a whole requires everybody on your team to work better or work together. And that requires way more teamwork than Call of Duty ever will. But in terms of just your individual squads, which are just groups of 4 or maybe 5, I don't think that requires as much teamwork. I don't think the squads themselves, the squads are basically all working together in one giant squad, but they're broken up in these little tiny things, if that makes any sense to you, Mr. who did not leave his or her name. So I hope that's clear to some of you guys. It's really kind of hard to explain. The squads themselves don't require a lot of teamwork. You're not really working so much, like really hard with all the people in your squad like you would be in Call of Duty, where 6 of you are playing domination. You're all working to take the flags. You're facing another party of 6, and it's a big teamwork fest, right? It's not like that on Battlefield. People in your squad are just other random teammates, and you're all kind of working together. If I'm an engineer, I'm healing that guy's tank. I don't care if he's my squad or not. If no one in my squad's in a tank, I'm going to go hop in the tank with this guy that's in another squad. I'm going to ride around with him because I'm an engineer, and I'm going to get some kills while we're in the tank. And if the tank starts taking damage, I'm going to hop out behind it, whip out my repair tool, and fix it up. I work with everybody, not necessarily just my little squad, if that makes any sense. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, what headset do you use while playing Xbox? My Turtle Beach is recently broke, and I'm looking to get some new ones. Do you have any suggestions? Riley from Canada. Mr. Riley from Canada, it's always good to have you on the show. So I'm in a weird predicament, right? And people are always asking me about this, especially when I do open lobbies. All right, so occasionally, which hasn't been super recently, but I'm gonna start doing it more, I promise you. I'll put out on Twitter saying, hey, who wants to play some Advanced Warfare? Message SB Nero on Xbox Live. Let's go do this. We'll go play some Advanced Warfare. And I want to do that soon. I really do. It actually is a whole lot of fun. But when I'm playing with people, they kind of get a little bit disappointed because I can't talk to them. I just can't. And the reason for that is the Xbox One is crap for recording stuff. So to make a long story short, on the 360, basically, you could make a setting. You could change your headset setting so it plays through both. And that would actually, or no, you'd make it so it plays through your headset only, right? And if you do that, that makes it so when you're recording footage on your Xbox 360, you could actually record the footage without recording the sound of people in game chat or people in the party chat, which was just great. It was awesome. It made recording easy. I could be in game chat. I could be in party chat. I could be doing whatever. I could record all my footage, and it was great. My footage wouldn't be having a bunch of people talking in it, right? Which is really annoying when you're trying to make a video out of it, right? It's really, really annoying. That was great. On the Xbox One, we don't have such features. We don't. So how I actually do this, when I'm playing with my friends, you see me playing with my friends, you'll notice I never have a mic in. That's because I'm using Skype on my computer and I'm listening to the game through my capture card audio to be able to listen to the game audio. Now I use AverMedia Live Gamer HD, so it's actually kind of nice. There really isn't any delay there, so I can hear things pretty well. And I'm talking to people on a Skype chat, and they're all in Skype on the Xbox One, using the Skype services on the Xbox One, which is really kind of confusing. So the headset I use for gaming on the Xbox is not even an Xbox headset. It's a PC headset, and it's actually the Audio-Technica ATH M50s, I think is the name of them. And I listen through those, and that's the reason why I can't talk. I don't even have a microphone for my Xbox One. I just don't. It's useless for me. I can't do it. If I'm recording stuff, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Otherwise, all my gameplays are just going to have people talking and talking and talking and talking and talking inside of it, and it's horrible. It's bad quality here on YouTube, so I can't do it. So when I talk to my friends, I talk to them in a Skype chat, and when I do open lobbies and stuff, I can't even talk to the guys, and that kind of really sucks. Xbox One, big disappointment, gotta say. If I were to recommend you a headset, so I haven't really used a ton of different Xbox headsets throughout my career. I've used a lot of Tritons. I've tried out a bunch of the Tritons, like the 720s and stuff like that, and those were always great. I always loved my Triton headsets, to be perfectly honest, but the thing about Tritons is they break so ridiculously easy and just stop working. Turtle Beaches never really had much trouble with them. They've always been good. Maybe the audio quality is a little bit worse than what you would get on a Triton, but Turtle Beaches have always been pretty good. And I've never tried Astros. I've heard the Astros are pretty freaking amazing, but I haven't honestly tried them out too much. So if I were just to make a recommendation to you, Mr. Ryder from Canada, just go ahead with the Turtle Beaches. A $60 pair of Turtle Beaches will do you just fine. It'll do you everything you need to do. Especially if you're like a gamer on a budget, you don't want to be spending $200 on a headset or something like that. Just get the $60 Turtle Beaches. They work. Everything's just great. That's the beauty of Turtle Beaches. You can find them anywhere. You can find them at your local Walmart if you have them. It's definitely great to have it that way. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Ryder from Canada, and hopefully that actually cleared up a few things for those of you guys out there who join my open lobbies like, why does Nero not talk? And I'm like, I can't. Xbox One sucks. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, what is your opinion on an 8-year-old children playing Call of Duty and 12-year-old children playing GTA 5? Do you think it's a parent's fault, or is the kid just spoiled and pressures the parents into buying these games that are not appropriate for their ages? This person did not leave his or her name. Well then. All right. I'm gonna point some things out here, and I think I may have a different opinion than a lot of people on this based upon the fact that I've been a gamer for just about all my life. I don't necessarily disagree with the idea of a 12-year-old playing GTA 5. When I was 12 years old, I was watching South Park. I was playing the South Park games. I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I was doing all that kind of stuff. I can deal with swearing. I was playing the Medal of Honor games. I think when you're 12 years old, you can probably play Call of Duty. You can probably play GTA. It's not going to have some kind of negative effect on you. I will say, though, an 8-year-old playing Call of Duty, I don't think that's necessarily right, man. My cousin has 2 children, and one of them is a 10-year-old girl, and the other one is an 8-year-old boy. And the 8-year-old boy is really into video games, but he always ends up playing Nintendo-based stuff. Like, he has a 3DS, I think they have a Wii, and maybe a Wii U. I'm not entirely positive on the Wii U, but they do play a bunch of Nintendo games. That's what he's really into. He's really into Mario. Mario's been like his favorite thing his whole life. And when I look at him, and he's 8 years old, keep in mind, the exact same age you're talking about, I can never picture him playing Call of Duty. I just can't. That would just be weird. Like, he likes playing Super Smash Bros. On his 3DS and jumping around. He's like, look at me, I'm Charizard. He loves that kind of stuff. I really feel as though 8 years old is way too young to be playing games like that. Hell, when I was 8 years old, I was playing on a Sega Genesis playing Sonic the Hedgehog, but after that, when I got my PlayStation 1 and stuff, I would be playing games like the Rugrats stuff, or I would be playing Nicktoons Racing. That was a fun game. Basically, Mario Kart idea, but with Nickelodeon characters from the 90s. That was a fun game I played a lot growing up. And I feel as though an 8-year-old is way too young to be playing stuff like that. 12 years old is kind of pushing it, I suppose, but 12 years old playing GTA, even playing Call of Duty, I can get behind that. That's okay. It's really up to the decision of the parents and whether or not they feel as though that child is old enough to do that. But 8 years old playing Call of Duty, I don't think I hope that's not a thing, because that's way too young in my opinion. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, it's been a whole month since you uploaded Nero's Let's Plays. What's happening? And also, what game do you plan on playing next? Miles from Canada. So, Miles, you're right. My Let's Play channel has been neglected a lot. One of my quote-unquote New Year's resolutions I made in my NerosCinema 2014 in review video was I'm going to kind of revamp my Let's Play channel a little bit. And the reason why I haven't actually uploaded to my Let's Play channel so far in January is I'm still recording footage for different kinds of Let's Plays and things of that nature for Nero's Let's Play. So, the big thing about Let's Plays, right? Let's Plays are fun, and relatively, compared to the videos I make here in NerosCinema, they're relatively easy as well. You're live commenting a game, and you're just having fun playing it. But the thing about it is let's say you're all out of footage, and you haven't beaten the game yet, but you're all out of footage, and you basically need to record, and you're recording like an episode a day. At that point, it kind of becomes a little bit like work, in that if you're busy or anything, I need to record like a half-hour-long episode today or something like that of a Let's Play. I need to record that, and maybe it doesn't fit your schedule. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to end up missing today. I'll end up doing it tomorrow. Then you don't end up doing it tomorrow, and then you get behind on your Let's Plays. Then Let's Plays just never end up getting finished. And I think that's like the worst thing in the world for a Let's Play channel is when you don't actually finish the Let's Play. And I think that's pretty awful. So what I'm doing is I'm actually getting really far ahead in my recording for the stuff I'm going to be posting over there, and hopefully that'll end up turning out. I guess I'll spill the beans. I mean, it's not really anything special. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of the original Borderlands because I've done so many different kind of Borderlands stuff over on my Let's Play channel with Borderlands 2, of course, and the pre-sequel. I figured it'd be fun to go through the original Borderlands, so I'm getting pretty far on that and recording up a bunch of that. I already have a bunch of footage of that saved up, and I'm already starting to edit it a little bit, as well as I want to get a lot of my friends involved on that channel. I think that would definitely be fun. I would think it'd be awesome. We did some videos of it here on NerosCinema. I want to do some stuff over there on Nero's Let's Plays as well. I want to do some more custom zombie stuff in World of War. That stuff is great. There is so many custom maps made by the community you can play, and that would be so much fun to go through. I want to do that. We did all of Left 4 my brother and I and some friends, we all did Left 4 Dead 1 over there on that channel. I want to do all of Left 4 Dead 2. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. I think there's even some mods you can get for Left 4 Dead 2 now on the PC. That sounds fun. There's a bunch of awesome games that we have, and I want to start doing that. Like Titanfall. I want to go back and play Titanfall. Why not record a couple hours of Titanfall of us all playing, post up some live comms and stuff like that of Titanfall over on Dear's Let's Plays? I think it would be fun. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and it involves getting my friends all together and recording some stuff, and I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I have really big hopes for Dear's Let's Plays here in 2015. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, what is your opinion on buying or being able to purchase supply drops in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? Personally, I think it's a terrible idea because level 1 players will have access to some of the best guns in the game. On the other end, I feel a gun does not change how good the player is anyway. It only helps. What is your opinion? And this person did not leave his or her name. This is something a lot of people have been talking about, the idea of being able to purchase supply drops. Personally, I guess I wouldn't be super against it, to be perfectly honest. I really wouldn't. See, the idea of supply drops, right? You can purchase supply drops, but it's all random chance. It's like buying a pack of cards. You know, you're not entirely positive exactly what you're going to get in that pack of cards. You can end up spending, let's say you really want your ASM1 Speakeasy. You can end up spending $50. I'm just making up that number. I don't even know what these things would cost if they were to be able to be available for purchase. But let's say you spend $50 and you still don't get your Speakeasy. That could be a thing. It's all completely random. It's a random thing. It's what supply drops are. They're completely random. I don't necessarily think that having these weapon variants is a big deal, right? Because if it was a big deal, people would be making a bigger fuss. Like you look at some of the powerful ones, like going back to Speakeasy, or look at the Ball 27 Obsidian Steed. I think that's one of the more powerful ones, or the EM1 Poner, which I believe is the best variation of the EM1. I could be wrong on that. You look at every gun. Oh, what was the name of the other one? The AK-12 Rest in Peace, the RIP. Apparently that one's pretty good as well. I don't have that one yet, but I've heard it's really good. People that have these guns, they don't necessarily just dominate. They don't dominate entire lobbies just because they have this amazing variant of a gun. Like, you don't see me taking out my Speakeasy like, oh, look at me, I got this Speakeasy, and because of that, I'm dominating this whole lobby. It's no, I would have done pretty well. I might have missed out on a couple of kills or something like that, but I would have done about the same if I was actually using just a normal ASM1 or any other variation of the ASM1 for that matter. So I don't feel as though the weapon variants are like super crucial to the game, and like you said in your comment, they only help a little bit. They don't determine how good your player is. It only helps in certain aspects, and that's true of anything, right? You see me in my gameplay, I don't use the overpowered guns. I don't use the overused guns. I run around with the damn MP11 and the M1 more than anything, just because I think they're fun guns to play with. And because of that, I'm already playing at a disadvantage. I'm already playing against everybody that's running around with the Ball 27 and running around with the ASM1. They don't even need to have a special variant of it. Those guns are just clearly above and beyond better than any of the stuff I'm running. That's really kind of how it is. So I don't feel as though it would be a big change or it'd be a big deal if people had the ability to purchase supply drops. Some people talk about the idea that Call of Duty would become pay to win at that point, but at the same time, I'm like, where are you winning? Having a pretty good weapon variant does not make you a good player. It does not make you dominate people or anything like that. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It does make the gun change around a bit, change around the camo of the gun and how the gun performs in some aspects, but it does not make you a better player. And having a good gun, I mean, unless everybody is running around with the exact same gun and then somebody that has a variant of that gun better than the rest, that person might have an advantage. Like if your entire lobby was people using default Ball 27s, then one person has the Ball 27 Obsidian Steed variant, at that point, that player, like, okay, he's got a better gun than us. But, other than that, though, there's so many different weapons and stuff. A lot of the time, it comes down to where you're at, where you're positioned, who got the first shot. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't really matter what gun you have. It really doesn't, because if you can have a normal Ball 27, or you can have the best variant of it in the world, it doesn't matter. You already have the advantage over my MP11, right? You always will. And that's how that ends up going down. So I don't feel as though it would be a big deal. If they were to make it so you could buy this, that would be that would definitely probably earn them a ton of money. And personally, I wouldn't really care if people went for that, because then I could actually earn some supply drops a little bit faster than I'm earning them now, because they're very few and far between. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I was reading a comment the other day on an Advanced Warfare video about a person who thought that kill streaks are weak, such as in Advanced Warfare, was a good thing because in other Call of Duties he was always getting overkilled by them. I disagree, and I think that kill streaks should be powerful because they reward the player for going on a good streak. So you should be able to slay them, as that makes up a big part of Call of Duty. I was wondering what you thought. Should kill streaks be balanced like they are in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, or more powerful like they were in Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, or Black Ops 2? Keep up the great work. Sincerely, Vino from Canada. Mr. Vino, I've heard that, and I can definitely see it. The kill streaks in Advanced Warfare are pretty underwhelming. There's a few of them that are pretty good. The Paladin, you can usually get a good amount of kills with the Paladin. Of course, Rolling Thunder is a whole lot of fun, but it's not guaranteed anything. It's like a stealth bomber, and if they have spawn protection, which spawn protection is one of the worst ideas they've ever given in Call of Duty, but if they have spawn protection, that your bombing run does nothing. Of course, the assault drone with the rockets is definitely a very good kill streak, but overall, the kill streaks just aren't what they used to be. They really aren't. I can remember, and this is, I always have to pull out this card, but back in my day, like, all the way back in Modern Warfare 2, the kill streaks were the whole game. The whole point of the game was getting these kill streaks and doing well with them, and how fun the game was because of that. The original Black Ops was kind of the same. The kill streaks were very, very good in that game. You think of the chopper gunner, you think of the dogs, and you think of the napalm, how cool that was. The kill streaks are really awesome. But after Modern Warfare 3, the kill streaks started to get a little bit weaker, and if you notice, especially those of you guys that watch my YouTube channel, ever since, like, you look back at Black Ops 2, you look at Call of Duty Ghosts, you look at here in Advanced Warfare, most of the time, I'm just running recon streaks now, because the other kill streaks just really aren't worth it. They're not worth the time. They really aren't. I would much rather put up UAVs, counter UAVs, and VSATs over and over again. That's really what I end up running most of the time. It's just because that's the most effective one. Instead of having a bunch of awesome kill streaks that do all the killing for me, I become the kill streak, I suppose. I'm just putting up UAVs and counter UAVs and VSATs all the time, just so I can run around and get all the kills with my gun that kind of compensate for the fact that the kill streaks in a lot of these games aren't that great. They really aren't. And a big part of that is the fact that I think Call of Duty is going on this kick where they're really trying to make the game easier and more accessible for newer players to play. You notice the maps themselves are a bit more random. The spawns flip a lot in these games. You definitely think that the spawns flip a whole lot. There's a lot of what do they call it? Sensory deprivation perks, I think is the phrase people are using. Like you look at low profile, how easy that is to get in blind eye, how you have low profile and blind eye right from the very beginning, so you can hide from all the UAVs, you can hide from all the kill streaks just right away. That's right there for you here in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I think it's one of the default classes, to be honest. Whereas in some of the Call of Duties, like, you had stopping power. You couldn't afford to give up stopping power for Cold-Blooded, which is the equivalent of a UAV jammer, the equivalent of low profile. You couldn't do that. You just couldn't give up stopping power. So nobody was hiding from the UAVs, and because of that, the game itself was very, very fast paced. People were getting tons of kill streaks. That's really kind of how it went. But that's not where Call of Duty is going anymore. Call of Duty seems to be going in a direction where it's not so much about the kill streaks. Of course, I think Black Ops 2 is a bit of an exception to this. Black Ops 2 definitely had some awesome kill streaks. You look at the dogs, you look at the swarm, you look at the VSAT, you look at the Hellstorm and the Lightning Strike. Oh man, Hellstorms and Lightning Strikes. That stuff was fun, wasn't it? So Black Ops 2, I think, is the exception to it. But you look at Ghost and you look at Advanced Warfare and you look at Modern Warfare 3, you really kind of see that all the people that aren't Treyarch are making the games where the kill streaks just really aren't that powerful. They're all pretty kind of weak, and it's just like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The best thing to honestly do is just throw up UAVs and stuff and become the kill streak yourself. And it's kind of hard to do that when there's so many different perks and so many different things you can do within the game to make it so you're hiding from those UAVs. You're hiding, keeping yourself off the minimap. It's definitely a thing. It's a recurring theme in every game that appears to not be a Treyarch game. And personally, I don't like it. Personally, I like the idea of kill streaks dominating. If you're good enough to get on an 11 kill streak or something like that, that 11 kill streak should freaking just pay dividends for you. It should go out there and just dominate people left and right. And if people don't like it, like if you're a bad player and you're getting dominated by the kill streaks, suck it up, Buttercup. Time to get better. Time to get better. Time to improve your aim. Trying to watch some videos. Time to get better at Call of Duty in general until you're the guy calling in the kill streaks. That's kind of how it was back in the day. That's how it was, in Call of Duty 4. That's how it was in World of War and Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops. That's how it was. If you were a bad player, you knew it. You got stomped all the time. There was no hand holding. There was no random spawn flips. There was no spawn protection from kill streaks or things of that nature. If you were a bad player, you knew it, and you're like, okay, I'm a bad player, but I want to get better at this because I see how fun this game can be if I were to become a good player. It's not holding your hand in any way. You're just like, okay, I'm going to become a good player because I want to become a good player. I want to be the guy calling in those Ace 130s. I want to be the guy calling in the nukes. I want to be the guy, putting up the VSATs all the time. I want to be that guy. And if you want to be that guy or girl, you can go ahead and do that. You need to put in your hours. You need to watch some videos. You need to become a better player and not just hope it's given to you by using low profile and blind eye and hoping the spawns flip you to the other side so you can shoot 4 or 5 people in the back while you capture a flag or something like that. That's not how you become a good player. That's really not. And that's always kind of funny though, because we had Treyarch. I see a lot of people say they hate Treyarch games. So I'm sitting there thinking, Those are the babies. Those are the guys that get their hands held by the Infinity Ward games, right? And so whenever a Treyarch game comes out, all the people that are like used to getting like spoiled by these Infinity Ward games and by these Sledgehammer, I don't think Sledgehammer's word that way. I'm just going to say Infinity Ward. I think Sledgehammer's a bit better than Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward holds your hand. It really does. It makes it so it's easy for bad players to at least do decent. It makes them feel good about playing. It makes them feel good, even though they're complete trash. They feel good because they're getting all these good spawns and they're able to at least do something. They're not getting dominated. Then when a Treyarch game comes out, these people say they hate these Treyarch games. It's because Treyarch doesn't hold your hand. If you're a bad player, you're going to know it in a Treyarch game. That's what I love about Treyarch games the most. It's just I go in there, I have so much fun, I just dominate all the time, and it's great. And then you go to like an Infinity War game, it's like, oh, spawn flip, spawn flip, spawn flip. Oh, what's that? I called in a UAV in ground war and only one person showing up on it. That's fun. It's really annoying when that stuff happens. So that's what I love about Treyarch. And I think the kill streaks themselves, they should be more powerful. They should definitely be way more powerful than what they are in Advanced Warfare. I think they should be at least as powerful as what they were in Black Ops 2. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, I've been getting a really good amount of hate on my YouTube channel ever since I reached 1,000 subscribers. My question to you is, how do you deal with hate? Do you block them? Do you argue with them? Please let me know. Christian from Florida. So Christian, you got 1,000 subs, you're already worried about hate. I'm not sure you're cut out to do YouTube, but it's nothing. It really isn't. I guess it's all really relative to your own specific situation and where you are with your channel. A lot of hate when you have 1,000 subscribers could be like you got like 2 mean comments this week, whereas a lot of hate when you have 100,000 subscribers could be a lot more than that, right? It's all really kind of relative to the size of your channel. How do I deal with hate? I don't. I actually have it so a lot of key phrases are blocked. Like if you try and write a comment saying like I only know what words I have blocked. Let's say you start saying some racist stuff or something like that in my comment section. Those words are already blocked. You can't do it. Like, I think it might show up for the person that posted the comment, but for everybody else, it doesn't, including me. Nobody else sees that. It's definitely pretty nice. Also, I block some really annoying things. Like when people are like, why is the video only in 360p? And it's like, yeah, so I blocked the phrase 360p. It's really annoying when people write that comment. It's like, are you new to YouTube? It takes a little bit to process. Oh my goodness, I hate that. But yeah, so basically, I either block the person, if I see a comment where they write like a 2-paragraph thing, I might read the first sentence of it and realize it's a hate comment, then I'll just block them from right there. Or maybe I started to make fun of them. A lot of the time, I just think it's kind of funny. I just kind of make fun of the person because a lot of people that like to hate on YouTube comment videos aren't exactly smart people. So I just block them, and that's how I just go about my day. But yeah, just try not to worry about that. Try not to worry about that stuff. And keep in mind, if you're getting 1 or 2 comments, or even 5, if you're getting 5 or 10 comments, even say that are like negative comments, you can just block the people. It's really not a big deal. And just stick with it. Just stick with it. It's you're going to deal with a lot of that on the internet because everyone's anonymous here, so everybody has free range to be a dickhead if they so please. Next question, which is actually rapid fire questions revolving around Call of Duty and my setup with it. These all come from a guy named Will in Canada. So let's hop into this. What is your stick layout? I play on default. What is your button layout? I play on tactical. Do you use vibration? Yes, I do. I like vibration. What is your sensitivity? I play on 4. Do you use colorblind or paintball? I don't use colorblind, but I do use paintball. And do you use auto mantle? Of course I do. Auto mantle is awesome. And all of those questions actually came in from a guy named Will from Canada. Next question. He writes, Dear Nero, I've been pondering buying Battlefield 4 on PC, but I know that players are godly talented on PC and I will most likely get destroyed. If I buy a console, I know the maps are slower paced and the graphics are downgraded, but a redeeming factor, the console, is that the players are less talented. I have not yet played Battlefield before, only Halo and Call of Duty, and I want to know what your opinion is, and any advice would be great. Garrett from Ohio. So Garrett, you left out one key thing from this question. It's what console are you playing on, right? If you're playing on a 360 and a PlayStation 3, you can still buy Battlefield, but the maps are really kind of sized down. And I believe, I could be wrong on this, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I believe the max number of people you can have on a team is 12 or 16, maybe? No, it wouldn't be 16. Maybe it's 12? Maybe it's 10? I can't remember. The numbers are really lowered because the console just can't, quite frankly, handle that many people on the map at once. So that's definitely kind of interesting. But if you have an Xbox One or if you have a PlayStation 4, then I definitely recommend to you going ahead and buying Battlefield on your console. 1, you'll enjoy it more because you're more used to using a stick, using a controller. And 2, I've actually played all my Battlefield 4 experience, aside from a little where I played on PC, was all on the Xbox One, and it was a ton of fun. The graphics are really nice. you're not limited in player count anymore. You can go play 32 on 32, and that's fantastic. You can play Conquest, you can play Rush, you can play Domination, you can play anything, right? It's a great experience on there. Of course, you have all the comfort and familiarity of playing on your console. It's definitely very, very nice. If you're playing on, once again, on a last-gen console, you can get it, but just keep in mind it won't be like a full Battlefield experience. And buying it on PC, you're going to have a pretty good PC, because Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, all the Battlefield games really are some of the most intensive games you could possibly play, so keep that in mind. Next question, he rates, Dear Nero, do you think Borderlands Remastered will have any kind of reference or Easter egg about Yodislaya from Luke in Texas? So Luke, I would hope so. I would definitely hope so. We were all kind of hoping for something to reference Yodislayer in the pre-sequel, and of course that ended up not happening. There's nothing that anybody has found that actually references Yodislaya in there. So hopefully they end up doing something with this Borderlands Remastered. Once again, we don't know much about Borderlands Remastered aside from the name was like copyright or something like the Australian Approval Board or something along those lines. I forget the name of it. But yeah, so there's going to be a Borderlands Remastered coming. We're not entirely sure what that means. They could be remastering Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2. They could be maybe putting it on next gen. I made a video talking about it over my Let's Play channel. I feel as though Borderlands 1 would definitely need a remastering. Just going back and playing that game, there's a lot of things that could definitely be updated. I think it'd be awesome if at least Borderlands 1 were to be upgraded to the graphic and just the quality that you see in Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel. That would definitely be pretty nice. But yeah, I would definitely love to see a Yodislayer reference in there somewhere. I feel as though Gearbox is kind of, by not putting in any kind of an Easter egg or something like that, I feel as though they're really kind of devaluing the impact that he had on the Borderlands community. The Borderlands community was essentially kind of started with Yodislayer. It really was. He was the most popular Borderlands player out there. He really was. In Call of Duty, it's kind of hard. Like, oh, who's the biggest Call of Duty guy? Who's the most influential person in the Call of Duty community? It's really hard to pick that out, right? There's, of course, some names come to mind, but it's really kind of hard to pick one that really sticks out above and beyond everybody else. Yodislayer was, without a doubt, the biggest Borderlands YouTuber. He was the biggest one. His videos were just so massively popular. The man, God rest his soul, has passed away well over a year now. His channel is still doing ridiculously well. You can actually look up the stats on his channel, and his channel is still doing ridiculously well because all the videos that he posted while he was alive, all of those videos are so good that they continue to gain views and views and views and views and views. His channel is ridiculous. Like, that man is still gaining over 3,000 new subscribers a month, and he hasn't made a video, of course, because he ended up passing away last year. He hasn't made a video in well over a year, and he's still gaining over 3,000 brand new subscribers a month. It's ridiculous how popular and how well put together his videos were and how influential he was in the Borderlands community. I definitely would like to see something in the Borderlands games at least kind of referencing towards him in some way, one way or another. They have all these references and Easter eggs to all kinds of pop culture things in the Borderlands games. Just once you couldn't even just make a Yodislaya style statue somewhere, even that would definitely be awesome. Just do something. I implore to you, Gearbox Software, please do something to immortalize Yodislaya within your game, because of course he loved the game, of course he played a ton, and he was one of the most influential people, getting people to really want to start playing Borderlands and really enjoying Borderlands. When I first got into Borderlands, Yodislayer was one of the reasons I got so into it, was watching his videos. Definitely some great stuff. Great YouTuber, great guy, rest his soul. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, have you ever played Assassin's Creed? If so, did you like it or dislike it? Nikki from Massachusetts. Nikki, I did play Assassin's Creed, but the only one I played was Assassin's Creed 3. I tried playing a single player. I really couldn't get into it. It was just not for me whatsoever, but I did play a bunch of the multiplayer with the friends of mine, and I forget the name of it. You probably know the name of it. There's a free-for-all game mode in Assassin's Creed. I played in Assassin's Creed 3. That was so much fun. So it's a free-for-all game mode. But everybody's walking around, and every single person has like a target that they need to assassinate, and everyone else has the same thing. We all have another player in the lobby that we need to assassinate, right? So there's someone going for you, and you're going for someone else, right? And so there's like 8 of you or so, and you're walking around in like all these groups of NPCs and stuff like that. Just kind of walk around, try not to act suspicious, and you're trying to be able to sneak up and get close to the person you're trying to take out, and then you can try and get them. Sometimes you can go hide in the bush, and you can pull and you jump out and pull them out of the bush, or you can jump on top of roofs. It's really kind of interesting how people play that. Some people try to mimic all the moves of the NPCs that really kind of look as though they're just an NPC, so people can't tell they're an actual player. That's the person they should be going for. There's other people that like immediately jump on the rooftops and they do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's a really fun game, but I had a whole lot of fun with that. Next question, he writes, Dear Nero, what classes and races do you play, and why do you play them in World of Warcraft? Keep up the great work, Ludwig. I love that name, Ludwig, from Sweden. He's from Sweden. I hear everything is awesome Christmas. When you hear all the girls are gorgeous, and I hear the internet is just like gigabit fiber for everybody. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's definitely awesome. So what do I play in WoW? So I main a Goblin Rogue because goblins are awesome, and I also play a bit on a Tauren Druid and on a Orc Hunter. I play on those guys a bit. I also have a Human Paladin over on the Alliance just to kind of see what the Alliance is all about. But yeah, I mainly play my Goblin Rogue because Goblins are awesome and Rogues are a whole lot of fun to play. And the reason I play them is just because I like the classes. I've tried out a bunch of the classes, but Rogue really sticks to me. Beastmaster Hunter really sticks with me. Retribution Paladin really sticks with me. And I think, I don't know, I can't really find Druid. Like, I basically played Resto Druid all the way up to Max Rebel, but I really don't like healing at max levels, especially in raids and stuff like that. So I switched out to Boomkin for a bit, and then that was working out. I hate ranged. I hate playing ranged. So then I switched to Feral, and I like Feral, but all my gear is still like Resto gear. So I'm trying to re-gear up on that character. So I'll see if I like that. But right now, Druid, man, there's like 4 different specs. I'm having a hard time picking which one I actually like. It's kind of weird. Next and final question. He's gonna write, Dear Nero, what are some main features you would like to see in the next Treyarch game in 2015? Have a wonderful day, Jay Walker from England. These are the features I would like to see in the 2015 Treyarch game. I want zombies, of course. Everybody wants to see zombies in there. I want to continue zombies. I don't care what you do with it. Just make a bunch of awesome new zombie maps, make some new wonder weapons, maybe even get it creative like you did in Black Ops 2, make some new perks. Yeah, play around with those a little bit. Of course, keep your standard perks. We want double tap, especially the Black Ops 2 double tap. What's actually funny is double tap and zombies was always kind of useless and worthless until Black Ops 2, where they actually made it so double tap makes it so you basically shoot 2 bullets for the price of 1 bullet, which was great. Double tap was great. Keep that. Of course, we want Juggernaut, we want Quick Revive, we want Sleight Hand, we want your basic perks, but also add in some new stuff. That would definitely be kind of interesting. In terms of the multiplayer, once again, I said very first question, kind of going full circle here, back to the first question we did of this week's Dear Nero. They could do whatever they want with the game. They can make it a Black Ops 3 and keep it going futuristic. They can make it Black Ops 3 and make it go back to Vietnam. Whatever it is you want to do. But here's why I implore to you, Treyarch. Continue with the flawless map design. Continue with that great map design. Continue with the good spawn system. Continue with the spawn system where people aren't just flipping around back and forth all the damn time. Keep that up. Make sure the kill streaks are powerful, and for the love of all things that are wholly put in an orbital VSAT that cannot be countered by a perk like it can be in Advanced Warfare, please do that. Oh man, that orbital VSAT is my saving grace. I love it. It's so much fun. It's really annoying when people can just counter it so easily in Advanced Warfare. Of course they have to, because otherwise you just have these support VSATs going up all the time. But still, I would like to see a VSAT that cannot be countered. I definitely want that. And I want some fun kill streaks, some powerful kill streaks. Bring back the Black Ops 1 Chopper Gunner. Bring in an AC-130. Keep the attack dogs. Bring in the Swarm. Hellstorms, Lightning Strikes, Artillery Strikes. Bring in a bunch of awesome kill streaks and make the game kill streak centric. I would definitely like to see that. Definitely would like to have that. Maybe a bit of a throwback to Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, that kind of idea. And just have some fun with it. I definitely want them to have some more fun with it, because they've always seemed to try and implement some really cool features in their games. Of course, I would love to go back to like a Vietnam style Call of Duty, just because we get to go to different things that were in Vietnam. You get to see all these places in history. Like my brother and I were talking about the other day, there's really some really cool things they could do with these Call of Duty maps. Like during Modern Warfare 2, there was a mission in the campaign where you're fighting through the White House. Why did they not make the White House a map? That would have been cool. And with Black Ops 3, if they were to do like a Vietnam style thing, or go back in time a little bit to a different timeline maybe, or maybe they were to go back to do the same timeline but see it from a different perspective, see it from these other guys' perspective, that also had a big role within the Black Ops trilogy. Whatever they're doing with that, right? I would like to see some other people's perspective, but at the same time, you can make some cool stuff happen. You can take us to some really cool places, like the Hanoi Hilton. You know, you guys know that. You guys know the map Hanoi from the original Black Ops. Take us there, involve that some more. Maybe make it a little bit. Oh, this would be neat. Maybe make it a little bit like in the future, a little bit after the original Black Ops, but before Black Ops 2. That kind of idea. And then at that point, we can have some maps that are like recreations from the original Black Ops, but have really kind of hit them. Like you look at the map Hanoi, go back to that map, have it so it's been like abandoned for quite a long time now. It's almost like a little bit of a ghost town. It's got a little bit of a haunted, creepy feel to it. Go to the firing range. You see how firing range is maybe kind of falling apart now. Instead of just remastering it, making it so time is visibly shown on that map. I talked about that a lot of times here on my channel, how I like that idea and that aspect of maps. If they were to do that, that'd be neat. That would definitely be neat. I like a lot of these ideas, and hopefully I'm just excited, man. While I'm enjoying Advanced Warfare, there, I'm still excited for Treyarch. I love Treyarch. You guys know I've said it since 2008. I said it ever since when I first started playing World at War. I'm like, I love Treyarch. They are great. Treyarch Master Race, baby. Treyarch Master Race. Well, that is this week's episode of Dear Nero. It would be a long one. I knew it ended up being a longer episode. That's why I tried to kind of speed through the questions a little bit. But man, you guys are sending in so many questions. When I go through a lot of them, it's like I want to answer all of them. But man, Dear Nero, man, Dear Nero. And the thing about Dear Nero is, if I had better internet, I'm telling you guys, I can make these things like freaking 2 hours long if I wanted to. I really could, just because if I had better internet, I could actually go ahead and make these. It'd be valuable. But the best internet I can get around here is like a round of 5 upload, which is not very fast. It's actually a bit better. I actually got an increased package. It's up from 3, but still, at a 5 upload speed, uploading a 40-minute video, even if it's not 60 FPS, man, that video file takes hours upon hours to upload, not counting the time it takes to edit and render it, man. That's the really big thing. So 30 to 40 minutes is about my cutting point, I think, for Dear Nero. But regardless, I hope you guys will enjoy this week's episode of Dear Nero. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel it deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your questions for next week's episode of Dear Nero, simply send me a personal message here on YouTube. That's really all you gotta do. Make it so at the beginning of your question, you type in like Dear Nero, then follow that by your question. It's definitely a lot easier if people do that. That way, when I'm sorting through all the messages, I can easily pick out the ones that are sent for Dear Nero as compared to the ones that might be sent for something else. So definitely do that. If you guys don't know how to send a personal message, you should probably go and Google it, because I'm tired of kind of explaining it. It's very, very simple. You go to my YouTube channel, go to the About tab, hit the Send Message button. It's very, very simple to find out how to send a personal message. But yet still people write Dear Neros in the comments and on Twitter instead. Some people even send stuff to my business email trying to submit their stuff because they have no idea how to send a personal message on YouTube. And it's like, you live in the age of Google. How do you not know this? But regardless, I hope you guys all enjoy this week's episode of Dear Nero. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.